That's important.
Difficult technique. Difficulty technique.
I'm going to kind of start close in on you and then...
But I think...
We're here at Busch Gardens, Tampa for Serengeti Safari. I brought my camera because I want to check out all the nice, cool animals we have here. We're going to feed giraffes. And Gabe is here, is going to take us on this journey. Right, Gabe?
Hey, how you doing? Facebook land. We're here at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. We're going to go on Serengeti Safari. We're going to see a whole bunch of animals. Before we see animals, we have to be safe. So everyone that's on the truck now with me, please hold on. We're going to get moving. We're going to get the shindig on the road. We're ready when you are. Jordan is our captain, by the way.
Everybody say hi, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
He likes that nickname. That we're giving animals as natural a habitat as possible, so that way they act as naturally as possible. And when guests like yourself, maybe someday you come over to Busch Gardens, check it out for yourself, you can see them acting like they would be in the wild. And I've been on well over 200 or 300 safaris in southern Africa, between South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, so I can tell you when there's similarities and when there's differences. Oh, here we go now. Here they are right there. This is the Nyala antelope. The ladies are a little daintier than the males are. Until we've stopped, you can walk over there if you want to. Clean themselves, groom themselves just like they would normally. And then you're going to see the stripes down there. They even have some spots on the behind. It's called disruptive camouflage. The idea is that from a distance, it's kind of hard to make out a shape of the antelope. And then with the white stripes going down, it makes it look like there's always some grass in front of them too. Hold on again for me. We're going to move in. Thank you so much, Jordan. We're going over the cattle gaps again. So free massage. All right. We're now on what's called our southern veldt. Veldt is just an Afrikaans word. It means wide open space. We've got a couple very big wide open spaces that we utilize, and multiple species out here, all from Africa. We even get some Florida birds. They come in and they eat all the free food, so lucky them. We just passed the eland antelope behind the truck. Off to the right-hand side here, we have what are called Grevy's zebra. This is a very endangered species from used to be found. They're used to be extinct in those areas now. Unfortunately, with the economic climate that's there right now, often it's the wildlife that suffer when people don't have a grocery store or some easy place to get food. These are also in the same boat. These are called Adax. You could also probably pronounce them Addax. I'm not sure how you pronounce it in the language they were given the name. But these animals are interesting. Right now they have their toasted marshmallow look on. This is their summer look. They come from the Sahara Desert. As you can imagine, desert, very hot. Normally, deserts are very hot. The largest desert in the world is Antarctica, so it's cold. But in this case, they're from the desert. During the summer, they bleach. So in the next month or two, we're going to see this coat go from a toasty look to bleach white. The idea there is it's reflecting as much heat as possible. They'll even go as far as digging themselves into the sand to avoid the most direct sunlight. And then at night they'll forage, because that's when it's not so ridiculously hot. And in the wintertime, which we're just coming out of, they'll get this darker coat on to absorb as much heat as possible. They'll move around during the day, and at night they'll huddle for warmth because it gets well below freezing in the desert at night. Astronauts actually often will train in some of the more ridiculous desert environments because it almost simulates what it'd be like to be on a planet with no atmosphere. All right, we're going to move in again. So, Jordan, when you thank you so much. And in the distance, I don't know if you caught, we're going to post those giraffes here in a little bit. Right now, though, we're going to go see some other species that we have. We're going to pass through this middle section. And again, just watch your hands, everybody. And we're good when you are, sir. Jordan's doing a great job. We haven't fallen in any pits yet. Good job, Jordan. And again, if you're just joining us now, we are at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, on the Serengeti Safari, which is something that you can come out and check out if you'd like to when you come to the park sometime. Oh boy, we got Jody, our female black rhinoceros. She's alone, and that's on purpose. Black rhinoceros in the wild are solitary. In fact, 4 out of the 5 species of rhino found around the world are solitary. The only gregaria, the only rhinoceros that loves to be in groups is the white rhinoceros. rhinoceros. We're going to see them next, hopefully anyway. They're about 3,000 to 4,000 pounds. You can't miss them, but sometimes it's hard to find them. So Jody is doing her thing, eating some grass, chilling in the shade. Good for her, because I should be in the shade right now too. But right now I'm having fun on the back of the truck. All right, Jordan, we're good. Thank you very much. We also have some very dangerous attack ducks over there. They're making sure that no one messes with Jody. They're doing their job really well. We feed them quackers. That's a bad joke. I shouldn't say that again. All right, we're going through another cattle gap. So everyone mind your arms and your hands, please. Thank you, Sir Jordan. All right, so what we just went through and we're going to go back to, that was about 25 acres or so. This is about 35 acres. We've got about 6 or 7 species out here on this side. Try to you'd be mixing it up with all the different species. Oh boy, this is a really, really pretty bird. Well, I guess I should say, no, it's the female. We're good there. You see how the eyes are really dark yellow? That's how you can tell in this species, the saddle-billed stork. It's an African species of stork. The male and female look very, very similar. Most bird species, male and female, look very different. Normally the males are very colorful, and that's to attract the ladies. And the females tend to be more drab in color. That's to not attract attention when they're sitting on the nest. You don't want a big eat at Joe's sign when you're trying to protect something, right? We have a whole bunch of things. That's the Florida freeloaders over there. So saddle-bill stork, pretty easy to tell why they're called that. They got that yellow-looking flange skin on their bill, looks like a saddle maybe for a frog. And it's on their bill, and they're a saddle-bill stork. There you go. Some of these animal names actually make sense in English. The rest of them need a little translation. All right, we're going to move one more time, so hold on for me. Thank you, Jordan. In the distance, we've got several species. In the middle there, that's called the water buck. You can see a little bit of the white ring around their rear end. There's some really neat, I want to say, like children's tales. In Africa, most of the languages aren't written down. So in order to pass on stories and your kids, more would tell stories, and often they have to do with the animal. Well, this had to do with trying to explain how they got that circle on the behind. So the water buck and her baby were wandering through a village one day, and a villager was busy whitewashing his hut, making it really gorgeous and white, really reflect on the sun. It makes it beautiful. Well, in walks this water buck and her baby, and it kind of startles the villager. And this startles the water buck back. And in doing so, the villager kind of stammered back. He got a little surprised. He kicked wash. He takes it and on the behind. She runs out through the bush. The baby notices that it's able to follow mother much easier with that ring around her rear end. So when they got back to her, all the other females were asking that water buck, how'd you get that ring on your booty like that? And she told them what happened, and they thought it was useful, and now they all pick their rear ends like that. Now that's obviously not what happened. It's called a follow sign. Most antelope and even deer species have some kind of starkly contrasting color on their rear, so when they're running through they're able to follow each other. Oh, this is a really, really good-looking species here. This is called the sable antelope. Sable antelope are a fairly aggressive species in the wild, especially those horns there. We have several young ones, so the horns aren't as large, but if you got a glimpse of that full-grown female in the back there, very, very large. It looks like a Loki from the Marvel stuff. That's where they model. And then we're also passing some antelope here. These are Pants gazelle. If you want to guess which antelope is the male. In this species, male and female have horns. That's not every species. But in this species, you got, yep, on the left-hand side, you got it. Along with the baby, we got a couple of babies out here. So we've got one male. We've got, it looks like 3 or 4 full-grown females. And then we've got, no, I think that's just that. It might just be that one right there. Anyway, she's maybe not even a month. Very, very young. I love these colors, though. This is counter shading. So we were talking about disruptive camouflage before. This is counter shading. The idea, and this is the theory, right? We can't ask them and they can't tell us, but the idea behind this is that when you've got a darker top and a lighter bottom, when you live out in the big open plains of the African savanna, when you've got a darker top, the light's going to play on you and make that darker top look lighter. And then you've got the white underbelly. That's where the shade's going to play. So it's going to make that white look a little darker. So the dark looks lighter, the light looks darker. It's almost a washout if you look out in the distance, maybe some heat distortion, anything to make it more for predators to be able to find them. All right, we're going to get moving one more time, so hold on, everybody. And I think that's another baby over there on the left, the one that you're looking at now. All right, thank you so much. Oh, and there's another one there still. See, this is barely any kind of camouflage at all, but look how easy it was for them to hide at just first glance in these little sand pits. Here in many places in Africa, they have what are called termite mounds all over the place. They range from big, tall, towering ones to just, and you might see 50 or 100 or 200, depending on where you're looking. Any one of those would be kind of hunkered down, and they're so, they know to stay really, really still, so they don't attract attention. On the right-hand side, we saw some of the water buck, but if you look over to the right of them, you've got the wildebeest. That's called the blue wildebeest. More specifically, it's eastern white-bearded gnu. You can say it gnu, you can say wildebeest. It's all the same animal, really. And those are found in eastern Africa, in the area that you might see on some National Geographic specials or Animal Planet or what have you. On the Great Migration, you'll see about 200,000 or 300,000. Let's see if we can find the zebra out here. No, they're out here somewhere. You've got the plains zebra, and they'll go first, and they'll be followed by about a wave of 1.2 million wildebeest. And they go on this big called the Great Migration. It's a really important part of the ecosystem. The wildebeest and a few animals will follow behind. They'll eat the grass and keep it nice and short. And in return, they're letting lots of nutrients drop into the ground, and that helps to the grass and grow again. And if that stops, if the eagle ever stops eating that grass, it gets so tall that the wildfires that come through actually would grow so hot and so quick that it would destroy a lot of trees along the way that it normally doesn't touch, and might even take animals within its path. So it's really important that the ecosystem has the Great Migration going through it. All right, Jordan, we're good when you are. Put your arms and hands again, everybody. Anybody have questions? I just haven't stopped. There's a lot more. We'd have to go on 7 or 8 different safaris to hear the majority of what I think is kind of interesting. Every guide has a different thing that they like to focus on. You have a question? I thought I saw a hand up. Okay, never mind. I'll keep on going. There we got Jay again. We're about to go back on the south felt now. We just were on the north felt. We're going to go back on the south felt. We're going to see and see if we get one of the giraffes, maybe even 2 or 3, to say hi. It's always up to them, though. We practice what's called positive reinforcement. We're good, Jordan. Wait, go over the dog gap again. Nice. Yeah, so positive reinforcement is something we practice all the training with the animals at Busch Gardens. That's SeaWorld as well. We want to make sure that any health care, anything, we're just checking up on them, that they're a part of the process. So we only ask them to do things. We never tell them that's what they have to do. They learn through the training that they're going to get something a little extra if they work with it. With health, they're going to get the same amount of food every single day, regardless of what they decide to do with us. There's the Grevy zebra again. Oh, there's the giraffe. Look at them all over here. We call this Giraffe Alley. Palm Tree Lane. It depends on how we feel that day. All licking some of the palm trees. We're gonna pause over here. Actually, Jordan, would you mind giving us a pause just for a second? They want a bit of here. We don't really feed them here. What we'll do is we'll go a little bit further. But if you want a nice shot of this, we got a couple babies. The younger one there on the right-hand side is Patty. She was born near St. Patrick's Day. So in a couple more days, she's going to be 1 year old. And then the one behind her, that's Angel. Angel was born about 1.5 years ago to her mom, Cupid. So Cupid, Angel, I think you get the idea there. We've got several other giraffe out here. Again, the giraffe don't need to come to us. The food, if we have food to give them, should they want some. But that's totally up to the giraffe. All right, we're going to get going again, so everyone hold on for me. Jordan, thank you so much. We're good to go when you are. Speak of the mom, the baby, the mom of the baby you're just looking at, that's the mom right there, Cupid. You can tell Cupid, at least with Cupid, you can tell because she's got ossicones that bend in a little bit. It's very telling. It's one of the more distinguished on these antelope, or these giraffes, sorry. She was called Cupid because she was born very close to Valentine's Day. She's also one of our taller and one of our older giraffe out here. And if she decides to come, I can talk a little bit more about her. Another really nice look at the Grevy zebra over here. There's 3 different zebra species in Africa. We've got 2 of them. This one's the most endangered species. It's also the largest. Of the 3 species, it has the tallest mohawk too. So it's pretty cool looking. This one coming up here on the right-hand side, that's Ruby. Of all the female giraffe out here, she's the one that's not related to the rest of the herd. She was brought here several years ago to increase the viability of the herd. So the more unrelated animals you have around the all right, so if she's interested in coming, she's a little shy. Sometimes she's all about it. Other times she's like, I like my hay, I like my grains, I'm good, but thank you. She loves to stare at us though. But we're pretty good looking people, so I think that makes sense. Where we're staring at. You can see how her ears are pricked up. She's looking at us, she's staring, she's wondering what's going on. See those beautiful big eyes? She has very large eyelashes. That really helps because they are from some fairly arid environments. If they have a dust devil kick up, all that dust is going to swirl around. And with such large eyes, they really rely on their eyesight. They can squint, and with the big eyelashes they have, that forms almost kind of looks like a screen door. So they can still look through the eyelashes, but be protected from all the sand being kicked around. They also have very, very active tear ducts too. That helps wash out any bits that might be in there. All right, we're going to get moving again, see if we can get someone else to come say hi. So if everyone wants to hold on for me. All right, thank you. We're good, Jordan. Totally unrelated to animals, but we're surrounded by a lot of fun. I'm on 2, which is my favorite inverted roller coaster. We've got Cobra's Curse, which is fairly new. Cart ride. Too much, but there's some surprises in there. Here we have our place called Edge of Africa. We've got lions, hyena. We've got different species of lemur in there. We even have an African-crested porcupine. If you're ever going night programs, that thing gets active like crazy at night. Love seeing that. You can see a couple here. Palm fronds. The trees be eating palm fronds. Wow, that's really, really high looking. What the heck do they want that? Well, they need fiber. Nothing more than just to kind of help them pass through. There's not a lot of nutrition benefits. These animals, though, they can called rumination. If you've ever heard of a cow that has a 4-chambered, that same thing. Deer, giraffe, goat, buffalo, bison, all those animals are ruminants. Zoos eat really, really fibrous things. They'll chew it, break it down a little bit, go in the first chamber called the rumen. It'll add enzymes to it, and they'll cough it back up, and that's called chewing your cud. And they'll add mechanical grinding with their teeth, and then the chemical breakdown with the enzymes from their stomach, and that'll really break it down good. And then when they swallow it, it's something the body can digest. Looks like Cupid's coming up behind us potentially. We'll see if she wants to come say hi. We've got a couple other people over here. I don't remember exactly the one is the shorter one. That's Kisa. She's the oldest giraffe we have right now. I believe she's about 24. Hey, girl. She's interested, so we'll see if we can get her to come say hi. A couple things with the giraffe. She's more than going to slobber on you, nudge you down a little bit. We're just not going to touch her, but you're more than welcome to do what I have. Stick it above your head, right? That comes into the tree too much. So if you come above your head, there's no problem there. You want to try these? Here you go. You know how well-haired those nostrils are too. You take a cat or a dog, they've got really wet, bare noses. They've got a really great sense of smell. Giraffes are long, but their nostrils are very well-haired. So that tells you they probably don't rely as much. You sure? They probably don't rely as much on their smell as maybe some of the other animals. You want to give it a try? I can do this if you want. Yum, 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 yum. You might also notice how dark her tongue is. There you go. Her tongue's very dark. Let me see if I can get the tongue to stick out a little bit more.
Is it like purple?
It's almost, yeah, I'd say more of a purple color. See if I can get her to stick out to the point where you can see in the back of her tongue, it's more pink than it is dark. You might notice that. There's a couple theories there. They stick their tongue out 14, 16 hours out of the day. That might help to keep them from getting sunburned. What I really think's going on here, and this is, I'm going to go off on my own little theory here. Melanin, which is the same pigment in our skin that can make us dark. Cells that can contain melanin are a little tougher. That's why flight on birds to be dark. There's lots of melanin in there. These animals have some really pokey things out in the wild. The acacia tree is one of their favorite trees to eat in Africa. Thorns all over the place. So what they'll do, take their tongue, they'll put it around like this. See if they're not biting it? She's wrapping it around and then well, if this was a branch, she would wrap it around the branch. She'd pull. That sends all the thorns back and then pulls right off the branch. That with the left, it's washed, it's nice. Break from the dry hay or the oats, but that's very normal. Nutritionally, it's the same thing as what they're eating in the wild. Give it another go. Much closer look at their eyes as well. How wide they are, how big they are. They've dissected eyeballs, of course, after the fact. And the rods and cones, they have about 3 times the amount of rods and cones in their eyeball than we do. So it's a very high concentration. So we can fairly safely infer that they have some very, very, very good eyesight. The visual acuity is probably about 3 times ours. So what I can see across the football field, she could probably see that well across about 3 field. Probably adaptation to survive. They need to be able to see distance. They need to know when a predator is coming. Unlike most antelope that will run away, the giraffes are pretty tall, they're in charge, they're in groups typically. So rather than run away, what they'll do, they'll stop, they'll stare out in the distance. What it does is it tells the predator, "Pigs up, I can see you coming. There's no secret here anymore." And more often than not, the vast majority of hunts that we would see being engaged, once the predator sees that the giraffe are there, they're like, okay, well, I give up then, because I'm not going to sneak up to anybody. It's that a lot of the antelope like to be around giraffe. I don't know how much truth there is to that. It might be one of those wide tails. They will sometimes refer to them as the watchtowers of the Serengeti. But you can see for a lot of the bushes and the tall grass, they can see things coming. If it's down on the ground, I can see near as far as top of this truck. This truck's only, 2.5 feet off the ground, 3 feet off the ground. Imagine having a 16 to 20 foot view that's going to command over all those bushes and grass. Let's see if I can get her to eat a couple more pieces here and get a really, really good look at the tongue. Again, we're at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. If you're just joining us, the coolest part, we're at the thing that everyone really tends to go crazy for. It's the end of the tour. We try not to start with the first line. It's fun to end with this because this is probably the largest animal that we can safely interact with, at least here. We can talk about their spots. A lot of people ask about these spots, but I think people are surprised if they do. We think they're there. Through some study, I haven't done this to read a lot. They've got a lot of veins in the skin, but what's interesting to note is in the white lines, the veins are a little deeper in the skin, versus in the dark spots here, the veins are closer to the surface. We think they almost act like a bunch of solar panels. When they want to cool off, what they have to do is look directly into the sun. And with as big a neck that is, it actually provides some shade for the rest of their body. And that allows their blood vessels to kind of cool off the blood. But when they want to get warmth in South Africa, there's a football fight in South Africa, it gets cold in there in the wintertime. So if they want to get some sun, all they have to do is prop themselves sideways, and all those solar panels charging in the sunlight, and they can just do the other side too. And it does a really, really good job. Oh, this is reticulated. I didn't mention that before. I'm sorry. This is called the reticulated draftee. These are going to be found typically in eastern Africa. There's a few. These are the whitest lines between the much tight fitting spots. There are others more yellow lines. The lines are going to be more jagged, like a maple leaf pattern in between them. There's a few different. Supposedly there's 9 different subspecies of giraffe, but there's only one species. But now they're trying to reclassify them as about maybe 4 different species, and a couple of them will have different subspecies. I don't often get into that too much because it's still not quite totally agreed upon by the scientific community. But I do know these are reticulated giraffe, yes. All right, we're going to get going. If you guys want to hold on for me, we're going to get moving. I'm going to give her a nice big chunk for coming over and saying thank you. I want to reward her for wanting to say hi. So Jordan, you're good when we are. So when we see that success happen, not only is it an incredible compliment that an animal pays to your habitat when it has babies and rears that baby to adulthood, that's saying that it's got enough space, that it feels safe, that it has enough nutrition, all of that. Animals don't just keep babies because they have them. They're very quick to say, all right, this isn't worth the resources if I don't feel like the baby's going to make it. Because there's a lot of resources put into babies. Only go on with them if they feel like this is a good environment. So that's a really, really nice thing to see. The animals not only having babies, but then being able to rear them as well. And then we work with other accredited institutions all over North America. And we will work with their giraffe herds and their zebra herds and their rhino herds. And we want to make sure that the breeding is as healthy as possible. So when the babies come out, there's a nice deep breeding pool there, and that baby is a great representation of that species, both to be able to be an ambassador for the species and health-wise. It'll be a lot healthier for an animal too. Yeah, it's a good question. We've got one more cattle we have to go through here, so everyone just mind your arms and your hands as we go through this one last little bit. And Jordan, as soon as you're good, we are too.
Feels like I didn't cover everything that there is.
There's no, again, we have to go out there